Well, we've come this far south, I don't know, about 80, 90 k's of Alice, south of Alice, and stopped to have a look at this memorial. That's the Cannonball Run Memorial. That's where 4 people, 2 officials and 2 competitors died, and I remember that clearly. It was after that, I think, was when they decided to change the open speed limit back to 130 after that accident. So it's a little bit chilling to think that, you know, right on this spot, right this very spot, 4 people died. Terrible, terrible stuff. Poor old bike. Fucking bugs and shit everywhere. God, what a pizzle on the poor old thing. Poor old thing, it's only fucking 5, 6 months old. But there we go. I don't know how far we are from the border, so I don't think it should be too far. This is the other side. It's in Japanese because it was the 2 Japanese competitors that were killed. There you go. Well, we've stopped here in a place called Earl Dunder to get fuel, and to break the record I just paid $2.83. Excuse me, $2.83 per litre for fucking fuel. Unbelievable. But just so happens that this place, this spot here is the centre of Australia. So there you go, we're actually in the centre. Like I say, the Alice Springs is the centre. Alice is not the centre. This is actually the centre of Australia. This place, how good is that? Fascinating shit. Lovely. Now we're going to have a look at some fucking stupid emus and see what's going on over there. Before we hit the road again, we've still got about 480 kilometres to Coober Pedy, so, and I'm not sure how far we are from the border yet, so, and the flies here are driving me fucking insane, so we won't be here too long. Peace. South Australia border. There we go. Yeah, now I think we've got about 370 k's to Coober Pedy from here. So, hey, how you going?
Good, how are you? Oh, that's went to South Australia.
Yeah. Going north or south?
North. We're going north.
Oh yeah, we're going south. So.
We'll get one of each. I'll get you a motorbike as well.
Yeah? Oh, I'll get out of your road if you like.
No, all good. Right, do you want to get one of these? Oh, Bobbies.
Okay, end of the day. I've just got all the video off. No more problems with this GoPro, but I thought I'll do one more before I finish up and hit the sack. Because I'm pretty tired, you know, like we've had a big day. Near 700 kilometres today. And luckily, that is the last of our big days. Tomorrow is 500 and something, 520 I think, to Port Augusta. Then we're a day in Port Augusta, and then 300 k's to Adelaide. That day might be a little bit more because we're going to go to Harndorf and have a look all around there before we go to our digs. And then I think it's another 500 and something kilometres to Broken Hill, 480 kilometres to Coober, and then 550 kilometres home from Coober. So all 500k days. So we're hardened fucking professionals now. We're seasoned professionals. So that'll be an easy day for us. We can stop a little bit more readily and have a look around if we need to. We kind of did today too. We sort of did a bit of a look around rather than, you know, splash and dash like we have to when we're doing the big long days. Although, like I said, today was 700 kilometres, so that was still a fair sort of a day. So, so yeah, we had a good run. It was nice weather. We're just looking. We're going to get fucked up, I think, when we go to Broken Hill. We might get wet going from Port Augusta to Adelaide, by the looks of it. And we could be getting wet asses coming from Adelaide to Broken Hill. So, see how we go. If it happens, it happens. You can't help it. Like, you know, shit happens. But it'd just be nice. We've gone so far every single day without clouds. Except for when we got into Darwin, we had, I suppose, about 200 kilometres of clouds from up into Darwin. And even by the time we got to Darwin, it was clear. So, you know, it was, we've had a really, really good run. So even if we, you know, get a wet ass for a day or two, we can't complain. Can't really complain. I got my new jacket that I bought, my Oxford jacket's wet, waterproof. So, and if it's heavy enough, I've got weather pants there. So throw those on, and the water won't get in my boots. I've got my Harley boots. They're pretty good. So my feet are behind the lowers, behind the lowers on the bike, where poor old Bruce doesn't have any lowers on his, so he's going to get fucking saturated if it rains. So, and his screen's a lot lower than mine too, so, you know. But it's been good so far, and I've noticed coming down, I made mention on Facebook before about perceptions of the Outback and how misleading they are, and what we saw coming down, like what we saw coming down, particularly across from Queensland, everywhere. The Outback is not what people perceive it to be in the media and everything else. You know, it's not all barren, dust-blown, red dirt paddocks. There's vegetation, lots and lots of it. But today, as we come south, particularly once we come down towards the last 200 or 300 k's towards Coober Pedy, it did start to get sparse and flat and not a lot on the ground, but most just grass. Like there was no trees and very few bushes or shrubs or scrub in some places. It was fairly light on, but I imagine that as we head out of here tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit the same till we get down closer to Port Augusta. So see what happens. I think it'll be fine. It's still, like I said, it's very nice. It's beautiful in its own way. The whole countryside, even the long straight roads, it's just amazing. It's hard to explain the experience. So it's been mind-blowing for me and Bruce about how nice it is in the outback of Australia. So you need to do yourself a favour and have a look. Maybe not for as long as we have, but get out and have a sticky beak and see. It's certainly an eye-opener, particularly when you get to some of these towns. It's an eye-opener too, particularly this one. Jesus, we had to come out through the back door to get to our room, so you won't be harassed by the local Indigenous people out the front of the club who are out there hassling people for money, for grog. So, and they were walking through the club. They had people chase them out of the club because they're in there harassing people for money to buy can of VB, brother. And yeah, so it's a bit of an eye-opener, but we'll be out of here tomorrow. So hopefully the bike and the trailer will still be in one piece when I get up in the morning. We can only hope. But it is what it is. So I'm going to stop this now, get this off the camera, and then shut everything down and go to bed. I am fucked. Absolutely. By the time this whole holiday's over, I'm going to sleep for a week, I think. So you take care. See you on the flip side. Peace.